people, to It's Been Said. I'm your host, Kat Wade, and Kat is spelled with a K. So excited to be with you this windy evening. You know, we are a weekly radio broadcast where we empower individuals for positive living, because a negative mind will never give you a positive life. We are a safe outlet where guests can share their stories or how they have overcome challenges to live their desired life. Storytelling is awesome, and all of us have a story to tell. Our guests share personal life stories from their lived perspective. Everyone is born into a once-upon-a-lifetime story. We're just looking for our happily ever after. Hello, beautiful people. You know, it's always a pleasure to be with you every Monday evening at 7:30. And if you have decided to tune in, thank you. I mean, what else would you be doing? I promise that you will have some positivity tonight. How was your week? Mine was great. You know, I made some vegetable soup this weekend with the help of my son, Gianluca. I told you before, I'm not really a cook, but it seemed like to me, soup is in the season. It's the weather for it. And I must say, it was a great success. It's my grandmother's recipe, too. Daisy Gibbons was her name. Wow. So, and I think the menfolk loved it. Well, I have a advertisement for you. It's time for the Bermuda Idol auditions. It's sponsored by Magic 102.7 FM and Hot 107.5. And the 2026 Bermuda Idol Finals will be held in March. Now, I know some of you are thinking, I could never be a Bermuda Idol, even competitor or even win. But some of you are singing in that worship prayers team. Some of you are singing in the shower. It might be time to come out and show us that talent. So, the winner will receive a beautiful trophy, and if this is any incentive, $5,000. Yes, there will be over $10,000 awarded in additional prizes to various contestants that make the finals. And I saw it last year, and it was awesome. Our very own Tariq from Tariq Variety Show was one of the contestants. So, be sure to audition this Saturday here at Magic 102.7 FM, anytime between 1 and 3 p.m. So don't come before, you can come before 1, but don't come after 3 p.m. If you bring your best voice and song voice, 2026 could be your year. So why not audition this Saturday between 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. here at Magic 102.7 FM. And I think some of our listeners might be just tapping in to see how their voice would pan out. So there we go. Well, today we are joined by an extraordinary woman whose story is one of courage, resilience, and unwavering faith. Before her life took an unexpected turn, she was known for two beautiful talents: her culinary artistry, which I had an opportunity to taste, and she brought through, and my son had his band here, Heritage, and she surprised him with this delicious meal. When you've got hungry man, you know, and this pan of food turns up, you're excited. And her music. She was a worship leader at Seventh-day Adventist Church. She poured her heart into every dish and every note. A life-threatening complication nearly changed all that, but she is here after months of rehabilitation with an unshakable belief in God's purpose for her life. She emerged with a new sense of gratitude and strength, and through it all, one person, I'm sure there were others, but this one person stood by her side, her beautiful daughter, Raquel. And we are honored here, It's Been Said, to welcome Cheryl Kerr and her daughter, Raquel. Thank you for being here. Please greet the beautiful people of It's Been Said for us.
Hello, Bermuda.
Ooh, that's Cheryl.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, good evening. So you want to stay tuned because you're going to hear this story. Okay, so here I go with my monologue. And the title of my monologue is in line with my guest tonight because I want to kind of make it a flow. It's entitled, Life is Fragile. For many listening, it's hard to imagine going in for something routine and waking up in the ICU. That kind of shock, it shakes the very foundation of what we trust. But how many of you have had near-death experiences? I have. It was, I can't remember, but I think it was either 2013 or 2014. And I went into the King Edward Memorial Hospital for an operation, and I was required to stay overnight. I remember vividly waking up in the recovery room, and the lovely nurse informed me of what was next for pain control. I was transferred to the ward and met my husband there. We chatted, and then I fell asleep. Not sure how long after, I awoke in terrible pain. I then started pressing the button. Now, some of you may know what that button is, but that button presses you and gives you pain control, pain medication. And some of you may know what's in that button. It's usually a very strong medication. I'm not sure how many times I pressed it, but over a period of time, I pressed it a lot. I know, not good. And it was during that time I distinctly heard this voice in my head that I did not need to breathe. Just stop. Just stop breathing. You don't have to breathe anymore. I wasn't fearful. I was just relaxed. My husband, who was nearby, was probably thinking I was just sleeping. But that was not the case. The nurse miraculously came to take my vitals and realized all was not well. She reacted very quickly, and I was administered a drug to reverse the high levels of this medication. Initially, there was no change, and I was administered another dose to bring me back from what could have been my eternal sleep. It was a painful experience having that medication. As I said, I was in a peaceful state. Too peaceful. I know that I was close to leaving this world, and the scenario could have been very different. You know, life is fragile. How much we should treasure every day and make the most of it. I'm going to leave my monologue with this quote. Life is short. We spend so much time sweating the small stuff, worrying, complaining, gossiping, comparing, wishing, wanting, and waiting for something bigger and better, instead of focusing on all the simple blessings that surround us every day. Why? Because life is short and so fragile. Well, that's my monologue for tonight, guys. So if you want to call and just, I don't know, maybe you want to talk about appreciating every day as a gift, because that's what it is. Maybe you just want to give a shout out or just want to share some positive vibes or gratitude. Our phone lines are now open. Magic 102.7 FM, and the number is 297-1027 or 1-888-257-9086 if you are calling from overseas, and the number is 297-1027 or 1-888-257-9086. And we will open up the phone lines again after our interview with Cheryl and Raquel. So I'm going to give you a couple of more seconds. If I don't see the phone ringing, we're going to go straight into our interview with these lovely, lovely ladies. So nope, I don't see the phone ringing. And so it's the ladies' turn. So welcome again, beautiful ladies. So Cheryl, we're going to start with you. Because you're sort of like the center of our attention for tonight. And once again, so honored to have you here. The truth is, I've known Cheryl for a while, and I was always fascinated by her story. In fact, I'm going to be transparent here. When I first started this radio show, there were a couple of people that I wanted to interview. I asked one, and they didn't decline. They just told me that they would think about it. I asked Cheryl, because she was the other person that I said, I must have her tell her story on this show. My husband and I, we took time to decide to go to the UK, and it was a faith venture, no doubt about it. We didn't have a job to go to, we didn't have a place to stay, and I heard about Cheryl and her illness and her sickness and the severity of it all. And somehow or another, I was linking my going to England and us being able to live there comfortably with Cheryl coming through her situation. And God asked me to go visit her. And I went to, my husband got permission from her daughter to go visit her in the ICU. And I went to see her when she was sedated. And I looked her in the eye and said, Cheryl, you will get better. God has told me that. I believe it with all my heart. All I knew is that I walked on Astor Park, and that's what he told me. And I went and told her that. So when I see her sitting here in the chair today, she is a true answer to God answering my prayer. And we had a wonderful time in the UK, all because he aligned her recovery with our time in the UK. So I don't know. It's just an amazing situation. I'm so happy to have you here, Cheryl.
Praise the Lord.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So, Cheryl, where were you born?
I was born in Alberta, Canada.
Yeah. And the lovely year of
1960.
Woohoo! Now, how did you end up being born in Canada?
My father was in school studying the ministry at the time.
Okay. And he was studying to be a
pastor.
A pastor.
Yeah.
Okay. So you happened to be coming along during that time.
Yeah.
Were you the oldest?
Yes.
Okay.
The firstborn.
The firstborn. And how many siblings do you have, and what are they?
2.
Okay.
2 brothers, but Ronald and Todd.
Ronnie and Todd.
Yes.
Okay. Great, great. Now, did your father stay long in Canada?
He stayed about 2 years
Okay.
to finish up his college degree.
Okay. And then what happened?
And then he came to Bermuda for a short while, and then he went to Andrews University in Michigan.
Okay. And that's a Seventh-day Adventist
Yes.
university and college. Wow. Okay. So you came to Bermuda when he came from Canada, right?
Yes.
That was your first time to Bermuda?
Yes.
Wow. Do you remember what it was like?
No, I was only about 2 or 3 at the time.
Wow, of course. No, definitely not. So you go to Michigan, and you're there in Andrews, and then your father came back to Bermuda
Yes.
after Andrews. Yeah? Or no? When he finished Andrews, where did he go after that? Where did you come? Did you come back to Bermuda after Andrews?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah? Okay. All right. So this now you remember Bermuda.
Yes.
Okay. And what school did you attend?
I went to Bermuda Institute.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you said you liked Bermuda Institute.
Yes, I was only there for 2 years.
Okay. Okay. And you even told me who the principal was.
Yeah, Andre Simons.
Adrian
Adrian
Simons.
Yes.
Yeah. And funny enough, you were friends with his
Daughter.
Yeah. And what was her name?
Darlene.
Darlene.
Yes.
Wow. Wow. Amazing. So you attended. I'm just going to give our audience a sense of what it is like to be a pastor's kid.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're born in Canada. You come to Bermuda. You go back to Michigan, and then you come back to Bermuda.
Yes.
Wow. So all of you just moved together.
Yeah.
Yeah. At that time, you didn't think much of it, you know?
No, I didn't.
No, indeed. Okay. So after you were here in Bermuda, how did your father decide to move to New York? What happened?
He got a call, actually, from the Northeastern Conference in New York to come out there and minister by Pastor Robert Carter.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
Who used to pastor in Bermuda.
Yes, he did. He was a leader
Yeah.
here.
Then he went to New York, and then he requested my father to come out to New York.
Wow. Okay. And the church he was at was where?
Ephesus.
Ephesus. Now that's a big church, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It's in Harlem.
Harlem.
Yes.
Ooh, so now you're back in New York.
Yes.
My goodness. And you are how old then?
I'm 6.
6. You've done 3 countries and you're only 6 years old.
Yes.
Amazing. Amazing. So your father was a youth pastor.
Yes.
Right. But he wasn't always a pastor, was he? Before he became a pastor?
No, he used to teach school
Okay.
for a while
Okay.
in DuPont Park, Washington, D.C.
Okay, so he was a teacher
Yes.
before he became a pastor. Wow. But he also was a musician.
Yes.
What kind of musician?
He was a jazz musician.
Okay. Did he ever strike up any jazz songs for you when you were young?
Yes. Oh, yes. He used to play all the time.
Really? What was that like?
It was really, really nice.
Yeah?
Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so tell us a bit about your mother.
My mother's name was Muriel Ann Smith. She was from Collectors Hill
Okay.
in Bermuda, and that's basically it.
Yeah. Was she a working mother, or was she a stay-at-home mother?
Well, she worked sometimes.
Okay.
And then she stayed home for periods of time.
Okay. And so she stayed home with the three of you.
Yes.
You and
yes.
your two younger brothers. And what was your dad's name?
His name was Eugene Ivan Benjamin Virgil. And let me say, he was known in Bermuda as Joe Place. He was a top guitarist, jazz guitarist in Bermuda at the time.
Amazing. I didn't know that. I
Yeah.
didn't know. What was he called again?
Joe Place was his stage name.
Ooh. Did he ever do any recording or anything like that with his, because he played the guitar?
Yes.
Right? Did he ever do any recordings? Do you remember?
No, they didn't do that much recording back then.
No? Okay. Wow.
He played in a lot of the hotels with a band
Okay.
and stuff
okay.
like that.
Awesome. Wow. Man, I tell you, you learn something new. So, who were you more closer with, your mom or your dad?
My mom, growing up, I was close with her.
Did she teach you? Was she the one who taught you how to cook?
Yes.
Okay.
She was a professional baker when I was younger.
Okay.
She used to work for Bermuda Bakery.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. So so now we're seeing patterns. Mom,
Yeah.
baker, cook, dad, musician.
Yeah.
You didn't have a choice.
Yes.
You didn't have a choice. Well done. So you now are attending school in the USA. And what I liked about this is what you said. It was Whispering Pines 7-Day Adventist School, but it was the first time you were with what? Certain type of children.
Yes.
What type of children?
Well, white children, actually.
White children. What was that like?
It was, I guess, being young, it didn't really matter that much to me. I mean, it was school, and I enjoyed it.
Right, yeah. What was the family like now? You're sort of settled in the United States. What are some of the things that you used to do as a family?
Well, mostly, we spent most of the time in the ministry.
In the church?
Yes. Well, every now and then we used to go to Coney Island.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the Bronx Zoo.
Yes. You said your brothers would gang up on you.
Yes.
No. Really?
Even though they were younger, the two of them used to gang up me together.
No. If they're listening, Ronnie and Todd.
Yes.
Wow. Amazing. So when did you start to like music? How old were you?
I was about 9.
Okay.
Our church at the time was getting rid of the piano. So my father took it in the home.
Got it. Okay.
And I started tinkering around on it and playing it, and I liked it.
Were you encouraged by your parents to play the piano?
Yes, I was.
Yeah,
yes.
I can imagine. So here you are, you have a piano in the house and you're tinkering around with it. And someone says, maybe you should take piano lessons.
Yeah.
What happened then?
Well, my father was giving Bible studies to this young man who was a musician.
Okay.
And he said he would give me piano lessons if my father gave him Bible studies.
Okay, great exchange.
Yeah.
Wow. And what was that like?
It was nice, but I didn't like to practice the music.
Oh, dear.
The written music.
Because you preferred...
To play by ear.
Okay. And then what happened?
Well, one day when I came home from school, my father told me to get to the piano as usual, and I had an attitude.
No.
So he told me, well, you get on the phone and call your music teacher and you tell him you're wasting his time not to come anymore.
Oh, no. And you did?
Yeah.
Did you call him?
Yes, I did.
Oh, my.
Yes. I said, my father said to call you and tell you that I'm wasting your time.
Goodness.
Yes.
Wow, wow. And you even told me you were crying while you were talking.
Yes, I was.
And that was the end of piano lessons.
Yes, it
but
was.
But it wasn't the end of the piano, was it?
No, it wasn't.
No, not indeed. Okay. So what were some of your favorite classes in school?
English and spelling. I really liked those classes.
Okay. So you were in Whispering Pines, and then it came time for you to take a different, I guess, pathway for education. Your parents said you're going to a school in that direction, and it was a boarding school.
Yes.
Right. And
yes.
What was the thoughts around that?
Well, I didn't want to go because I had my own plans to go to a school in New York City.
Okay.
But my father said he thought that I needed to go away, so he sent me to Pine Forge Academy.
Do you think it had anything to do with your lovely attitude?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he said I thought I knew it all.
Oh dear. So off to Pine Forge you go. And you said you left crying and angry.
Yes, I did.
Oh, wow. But it was interesting because you cried coming back.
I did. After graduation, I didn't want to leave. Yes.
Because?
I loved it up there so much.
What did you love about it?
It's an all-black boarding academy. And I formed some really close bonds.
Sure.
They're my good friends to this day.
To this very day?
Yes.
Wow. And you liked it because they showed you black people in the Bible?
Yes, they did.
Wow.
And it's just built on property that's part of the Underground Railroad.
Interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's something that you could treasure.
Yes.
Not only were you getting the history, but you were going to school as a part of it.
Yes.
Amazing. So who was Charles Battle?
Charles Battle was my history teacher. And he was the first person that helped me to realize that there was a black presence in the Bible.
Okay. That must have been very eye-opening for you. Indeed. So tell me about the music program, because you're playing the piano. How was the music program in Pine Forge, and how were you a part of it?
There was a lot of music at Pine Forge. A lot of singers. I was part of the choir. And I formed a group that I had of mixed boys and girls. And then I also sang in a quartet of all guys. I was the first female to become a part of that quartet.
Amazing. Yeah. So how did you get picked? Was it your voice or your...
Well, one of the boys couldn't sing anymore in the group. So I sang tenor with the choir. So somebody just suggested that I become a part of the group.
And they said, sure.
Yeah.
Even though you were a female?
Yes.
Wow. You became part of the boys, huh?
Yeah. The Academy 4, they were called.
The Academy 4.
They traveled for the school and did recruiting for the school.
Okay. So you are now part of that element of the school to get other people to come. And they figure, well, we can have a female and all-male quartet. Why not? Oh, amazing. So your younger brothers, they came to Pine Forge later.
Yes.
Did they? Okay. Did you graduate from Pine Forge?
Yes, I did.
And with honors?
Yes.
Well done. So now that you graduated from Pine Forge, you're still living in the USA, yeah?
Yes.
What was next for you? What school?
Well, college was next, so I decided I wanted to go to Oakwood College in Huntsville, Alabama.
Okay, all right.
It's now Oakwood University.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And what was your area of concentration? What were you looking to do?
Business administration with a concentration in nutrition.
Okay, because you wanted to...
Yeah, cook. Yes, that's what I wanted to do.
And I think we need to open up a restaurant.
Yes, I wanted to have my own restaurant.
Good for you. Yeah. So did you continue the music?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And you had a group there as well?
Yes.
What was the group called?
I can't remember,
In his name.
Yes, in his name.
See?
A trio.
Yeah, of three ladies. Yeah.
Yes.
And there was a song that you composed or you sang? I can't remember.
A friend of mine wrote the song.
What was the song called?
There Is One.
Okay.
and we recorded it on an album with the choir that I sang with also.
Okay. Yes. And I think you said they're still playing it on the...
Yes, they are still playing it on the college's radio station.
Oh, you've left your legacy.
Yes.
Did you ever sing with the Aeolians? I know that's a very famous...
I sang with the college choir.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. What happened after graduation? And I'm sure you had lots of friends at Oakwood. Yes?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, because Oakwood is a very close-knit community, isn't it? Yeah, it is. So you graduated from Oakwood, and then what? What did you decide to do?
Well, I came home and I worked for a while with doing temp work. Mm-hmm. And then
and home at that time was New York?
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
All right. Mm-hmm.
Then I started doing cooking on the side.
Okay.
Like catering.
Sure.
And stuff like that.
Yeah. And then you decided to take your cooking skills to a higher level.
Yes.
Okay. And where did you go?
I went to the Culinary Institute of America, which was the top culinary institute in the United States at the time.
How did you get in? Was it hard to get in?
Yes, it was a 2-year waiting list.
Wow.
Yes, after you applied.
Uh-huh.
And then you had to wait to find out if you were accepted or not.
Wow.
And you had to have a little bit of experience before you could even apply.
Right. So the catering that you did was good for you.
Yes.
Yeah. And you were telling me that some of the skills you had to learn took years, like for instance, knife skills.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, knife skills was the very
and
first...
I say not life, we're talking about knife, okay?
Yes.
Cutting,
Knife skills was the very first course that I had to take. Mm-hmm. And if you failed that course, you couldn't even go further in the school.
Wow.
Yes.
So, you told me you had to learn how to cut an onion, dice.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's important.
Yes, I had exams on just how to cut an onion. Yes.
Now, I've given my prerequisite on cooking. That would be some. But you're right. You have to let people want their food done in a certain way. That's a skill set you have to know how to do. Wow. So you were also doing catering jobs, and you did things for the church as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So was it like a catering job, or you just did it on the side as far as?
I did it mostly on the side.
Yeah. Okay. Was it many churches or just one church in particular?
Just one church.
Okay. So after you graduated from culinary school, what did you decide to do?
Well, I worked.
I know you told me that some of the jobs were difficult because there were challenges regarding the Sabbath.
Yes.
Cooking pork and shellfish was not going to be something that you wanted to do.
I worked in some of the restaurants.
Okay.
But I wasn't crazy about doing all the foods that they wanted me to do.
Yeah, indeed. And you played for the churches as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Did you get married?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. And that from that marriage, you had Raquel.
Yes.
Yeah. And like I said, she's here with us. Yeah. You said you were a bookkeeper.
Yes.
How'd you do that? Is that part of your business courses that you did?
Yes.
Okay. Where were you a bookkeeper?
Well, I was a bookkeeper at M.R. Onions. That
in
was
Bermuda?
A restaurant, that was open long time ago.
Okay.
And I did a little bit of bookkeeping in New York.
Okay.
For my part-time jobs.
Okay. All right. So, did the marriage last?
No, it didn't.
No? Unfortunately, it didn't last. And you said Raquel was about 9 months old.
Yes.
At the time. Wow. So what did you decide to do?
Well, I worked as much as I could. I was a bookkeeper for Olson Healthcare Agency.
Okay.
So I worked for them for a while. And then I decided that I needed to take a break and come to Bermuda because my parents were back in Bermuda at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had intentions of coming here for like 6 months.
Okay. But
that turned into
She's looking at her daughter now.
36 years now.
36
Yes.
years. I tell you, that's what Bermuda would do to you.
Yes.
So did you consider Bermuda your home?
Yes, I always did.
You always thought it was your
Yes.
home. Why? That's interesting. How is that?
Because I used to come back and forth and visit, and I loved it.
Really?
Yes.
What did you love about Bermuda?
I just loved the beauty of it and the smallness of it.
Yeah.
Yes.
People tend to see that. Now, you came to Bermuda, and your daughter went to school you were at what school when you came here, when you finally went to school?
Oh, I was at Bermuda Institute.
Bermuda, like Mom?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And you said that since this was a settled place, you decided to stay on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you had other things going on. Did you open up a restaurant for a time?
Yes, I did.
What was the name of the restaurant?
Island Hut.
Island Hut.
Yes.
And what were you famous for?
My vegetarian steak and taste.
I can taste it now.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Wow. What are other things to remember about working in Bermuda? Some special occasions. Who did you meet and who did you associate with? And how did you get your business going?
Well, I did a lot of catering on the side, and then I decided to start a full-time catering business called Personally Yours Catering.
Okay. And what businesses did you cater for? What events? Were you just doing certain things?
I did weddings. I did banquets and dinners.
Wow.
I did a lot of catering for the government.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of their business meetings and luncheons that they had. Yes.
Wow. Were you the only person, or did you have a staff?
Well, it was mostly me, but when I did larger jobs, I hired on-call staff.
Okay. And at that time, you were staying with your parents?
Yes.
Yeah, Pastor and Sister Virgil. And what church were they at then?
At Devonshire, Seventh-day Adventist Church.
And how did you support your dad in music ministry?
Yes, I directed the choir, and I was the minister of music.
Wow, yeah, I can remember Cheryl's praise teams and piano playing and music. Yes,
indeed. And DCL Unity Choir was a big choir that I had at the time.
Okay, how many voices altogether?
Well, we got up to like almost 40 at one time.
Wow.
But we would usually be between 30 and 35.
Right. DCL Unity Choir.
Yeah.
And did you sing all over or just in certain churches?
Yes, we were all over the island.
And what years were this?
Oh, boy. I can't remember now.
Early 2000s, was it?
It was before that.
Before that?
Yes.
In the 90s?
Yes.
Okay.
Mostly in the 90s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. So here you are, you're in Bermuda, you're thriving. Your ministry and music is just taking off. And I think you stayed on at Devonshire even after your father was moved, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And then your catering business is Steak and Take and what have you. Wow. So you were well known in Bermuda. Yeah. Sister Saute. How did you come up with that name?
Actually, Raquel thought of the name.
Really?
Yeah. I was looking for an email address, and she came up with the name Sister Saute at hotmail.com.
Wow.
And it's just stuck.
Yeah, you could identify with it. Yeah, Sister Saute. I love it. Okay, so here it's now, and we're going to move fast forward, of Easter 2018. You had I could say a medical situation.
Yes.
Regarding something on your tooth. Tell us what happened.
And I had an abscess on my tooth. At first, it was just paining me a little bit, and I ignored it. As a matter of fact, I was in the middle of Easter catering.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Busy time.
I had loads and loads of orders for vegetarian fish cakes.
Oh, gosh. Yes.
And I was delivering them all over the island.
Wow. Okay.
And then my face started to swell up.
Okay.
So I said, well, I'll just finish my catering orders, and then I'll go down to the hospital to check it out.
Sure. Yeah, got to get the orders out of the way.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
indeed. And you were doing hundreds of fish cakes.
Yes.
Wow.
I was supposed to go to a rehearsal that evening because I was also ministering at Open Door Christian Assembly.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. So you were extremely busy.
Yeah.
So here you had this swelling, all these different assignments to do. And you said, I'll go to the hospital. So you went to the hospital.
Yes.
In all that busyness. And what was your thoughts that they would do what?
Well, I thought they would just give me some painkillers or something for the swelling because the dentist was closed because it was nighttime.
Sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was Easter.
Easter weekend. So
Yes.
yeah. So Good Friday, nothing going on.
Yeah.
But they did something very different. What did they do?
Well, they saw me and they told me I couldn't go home. They had to admit me.
Okay. Oh, that wasn't in your plans, was it?
No, it wasn't.
Not at
all.
No. So they checked you in and they told you there was no dental staff on duty. And they transferred you to where?
The children's ward.
I know you're short, but
Yes.
but wow. So you go to the children's ward and you were upset. And not only was it the children's ward and you upset because it's a busy weekend, but there was a family event going on as well.
Yes. We were supposed to go to Easter brunch.
To Easter brunch.
Yes.
Yeah. So what happened after that? You're transferred, you're in the hospital, it's Easter brunch. What did they decide to do? What was
Well,
that?
they decided that my tooth needed to be pulled surgically.
Okay, all right. And what day was that?
That was on the Monday, I think I was scheduled for surgery.
So all weekend you stayed in the hospital
yes.
and they were monitoring you during that
Yes.
time. Okay. So they say that you need surgery on Monday and you go into surgery.
Yes.
And then what happens?
Well, actually, Raquel could tell you the rest from there because I don't remember much of anything.
Okay. All right. So she goes into surgery, Raquel. And if you can just give us some sort of idea what it was like, what they were sharing with you before surgery, during surgery, and after surgery.
Well, before surgery, I was talking to her because she still had her phone and everything. So she told me, well, they got to pull my tooth out and the doctor's not here right now because it's Easter, so he's coming tomorrow. The dentist, coming tomorrow, so they're going to pull your tooth out. And I said, okay, well, sorry you missed brunch, but,
Yeah.
well, got to do what you got to do. So on the Monday, she told me Monday morning about what time they were thinking to send her in. I can't remember what time it was supposed to be, but she was like, they scheduled it for XYZ time. And then, when I come out of recovery or whatever and they let me have my phone back, I'll let you know. And so when she came out of the surgery, the protocol is that they have to go straight to the ICU anyway for recovery. So it wasn't like out of the norm for her to be
all
there.
right. Yeah.
They were just like, because of where the surgery was in her mouth and stuff like that, they put them in the ICU because it's clean.
Yeah.
So I knew she was already in the ICU and we were just waiting for her to, wake up and come out of the anesthesia and stuff, but that never happened. So at that point, she was already in the ICU because she was supposed to have been there, but she just never actually came out of the anesthesia.
Okay.
So when they realized that she wasn't waking up and she should have, they started, trying to figure out what was going on. And that's when they realized that, the infection had started spreading. Sorry, I'm just hitting everything.
Yeah.
Put my hand in it.
You speak with a lot of your hands. That's fine.
I talk with my hands and I'm
That's
knocking
good.
everything. Yeah, so that's when they realized, okay, she should have been awake hours ago, or she should have at least showed some signs of starting to surface, and she's not.
Yeah.
And so then they realized, okay, her temperature's still really high, this and this is going on. And so that's how they figured out that the infection from her tooth, it was, I guess, it's kind of like they pulled the plug. So once the tooth came out, then it just
gave
everywhere.
free reign to just go
it wasn't
everywhere.
contained anymore. So
It was a sepsis. A sepsis.
she ended up in sepsis.
It ended in sepsis.
Yeah,
Wow.
it started off with the tooth abscess.
Okay.
And then by the time they figured out what was going on, she was infected, but they weren't calling it sepsis yet. So, sorry, do you need to ask a question?
No, continue to
Okay.
talk. You're doing excellent, Raquel.
So, they decided to put her back into surgery because they realized that, okay, the infection wasn't just in this one spot. So they had to pull out a second tooth and kind of like scrape it down to the bone or as far as they could get. To try and get as much of the infection out as possible.
Sure.
Hoping that would kind of
ease things up and turn the corner, and then she'd be able to come out of it. Yeah.
Right. So when that didn't work, they realized, okay, so this is going a lot farther than we thought. And that's when they started seeing the different signs for sepsis. Things started failing.
Interesting.
It was a whole plethora.
Yeah. So tell me, did you understand the severity of it at that moment, or did it come slowly for you?
In the beginning, not really, because like I said, she was already supposed to go to ICU, so it's not like she was on a regular ward and then they were like, we need to take her to the ICU. That's where she started off. So
right.
It wasn't really like it wasn't alarm bells or anything happening for that. It started getting a little more like, okay, what's really happening when they had to go and take the second tooth. So I was like, well, you could have just done that the first time.
Sure, absolutely.
But so when they took the second tooth and then she still didn't wake up, it was like, okay, no, this is like what's going on, what's really happening. But I guess, I don't know, I never really thought of it as like a big, awful, terrible thing. It was more like, okay, well, this happened and we're going to try this. Okay, well, that didn't work. Well, we're going to try that now. So I kind of process things in pieces. So it's just like, okay, well, we didn't do that. I want to do the next. Let's try this thing. And so I never really had like this huge, oh my goodness, this,
this sort of meltdown. Oh my gosh, what could be happening? So this has happened. So what we can do next? Right. Yeah. You said that's how you think. Isn't that how you process things?
Is how I process things.
Yeah. Interesting. But her time in the ICU created, I guess, a medical situation because there were certain organs that were failing.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that, how that transpired over a period of 6 weeks. Because she's not conscious now.
Yeah.
Your mom is not conscious. She's not talking. She's not waking up.
Well, the first thing that they were trying to get under control was, what do they call it? Her fluid retention, because she wasn't awake, she wasn't eating. So everything she was getting was through the IVs.
Yeah.
But because she wasn't moving, all the fluid was sitting. So she swelled up a lot.
Wow.
They were trying to, keep her joints and stuff moving. But also they couldn't move her too much because they didn't want anything to flow where it shouldn't flow. And she had like
delicate balance.
Yeah, she had like a lot of tubes and stuff and monitors and things. At one point, her heart rate kept rising, so they were trying to keep that low so she wouldn't go into cardiac arrest. And then once they kind of got that sorted out, it was bringing the temperature down, because the temperature, she was hot all the time. She was trying to fight the infection, so they kept trying to bring that down.
Right.
And then somewhere along the way, her kidneys started giving out, so they had to put her on dialysis.
Ooh.
And
did Did she have issues with her lungs, you were saying?
She did. I'm probably getting the order of events wrong.
That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. All this is happening all at the same time, in a sense.
At one point, she had a collapsed lung, so they had to go inside and reinflate that. I think that's while she was still on the dialysis. And then the whole time she was on a trach, so they were trying to keep that from getting infected because she wasn't supposed to be on it as long as she was. So when you have them too long, the body starts trying to reject it.
Okay.
So they're trying to balance the ventilator with the fact that her lungs were collapsed. So it was like kind of a seesaw.
Yeah.
With that.
You don't have a medical background, do you?
Me?
No, but you're explaining it all so very well. So very well. Wow. So was there a specific time that the doctor was thinking that this could be a situation that could be further advanced as far as her being able to recover? What were they telling you?
Oh, yeah. Well, it depended on which doctor she had that week. At the time,
Okay.
Yeah. At the time, and I don't know if they still do this, but at the time, the ICU was on rotation. So there wasn't like one doctor for the ICU.
Okay.
I think it was every week or 10 days, they rotated I don't know what they call them, the senior doctors or the heads of, the various departments. So depending on which doctor she had that week was which, I guess, kind of outlook they took on her situation. So there were definitely times where the doctor of the hour, might have had a different viewpoint than the one who was her last week.
Interesting.
They were all kind of in the same consensus of like, she's really bad. And some of them had never seen anything quite like this before, so they weren't really sure what
the prognosis was.
What viewpoint to take on it. And then we had one doctor who basically wrote her off.
Ooh.
So he was just like, at this point, either she's going to go home or she's not. And I was like, thanks.
Wow.
So,
yeah. And so you're at this point now, and she's been how long in the ICU?
At this point, Mark...
This is Easter weekend.
She went in Easter weekend. At this point where she was like septic and people were thinking she wasn't going to come home, I would say mid-May.
Wow.
Early to mid-May. Late April, early May-ish. Was kind of when it was like, okay, at this point we've done everything we can do. She's getting resistant to the antibiotics, so we're cycling on other antibiotics, and then she's getting resistant to those, so they had to keep cycling her up to the next strength level, I guess. Then also the downside to that is the body is not meant to handle this type of medicines, especially for extended periods of time. So some of the problems she was having is because she was on the medicine for so long, but they couldn't take her off of it because the infection wasn't finished. At this point, they had realized that she probably wasn't awake because the infection went up her brainstem, so it was keeping her asleep.
Okay.
Whereas, generally speaking, infections, you can be awake and fight an infection.
Yeah.
But because hers started in her head, it went up and down. So at that point, they were kind of getting to the conclusion that, okay, part of the reason she's not waking up is because her brain is fighting the infection too. And so it can't wake up and fight at the same time.
Right.
So this is probably like late April, early May type of time.
And what our listeners don't know is that, or maybe do know, is that you are also caring for your elderly grandparents at home.
Yes.
So while mom is in the ICU and you're having to deal with all the logistics of that, you are also caring for your two elderly grandparents, and one of them had dementia.
Yes, I had been starting to take over for my grandmother because we realized that dementia was, the path she was going on. So I had come home because I was away in school and I stayed away for a while. I had come home in 2014 when we started realizing that somebody needed to be here more with her. So I was already kind of along the caretaker's path, if you will, because we were realistic about what that was going to look like.
Sure.
So at that time, I was like, okay, well, Mommy has the business and the church stuff. I help with the business when she needs extra help. So I'll just use my off time to start taking care of Nana in the house.
Okay.
So that's kind of the arrangement we already had before she went in for the teeth.
Okay.
So now, I had her at the hospital, and then I had Nana at home, and my grandfather as well at home, who at the time his mind was okay, but his body was getting weaker. It was like
wow, absolutely.
I used to joke probably terribly that together they made a complete person. One had the mind, one had the body. And
bless him. Wow.
Because Nana's dementia was only in her mind. Her body was fine.
Sure.
Which made her dangerous because she was capable of doing things without
bless her
properly knowing what she was doing. Whereas my grandfather knew what she was doing, but he couldn't really stop her that much because he was getting frail. So
I see what you're saying.
Between the two of them. But so at that time, Mommy was in the hospital. I was watching Nana and Pa at home, so I kind of had to do I called it shift work. So morning shift at the house with them, got them sorted, breakfast, all of that.
Yeah, right, exactly.
And then go to the hospital. I would usually stay at the hospital for about 5 hours. Be with her, make sure she was all right, try and, talk to the doctors or whoever was around. I would play her music in her room because we weren't sure if she could hear us, but we were assuming.
Yeah. Why not?
So I would play music in her room and, just
keep her stimulated.
On Sabbaths, I would live stream church and let it play in her ears,
so
she could at least feel like she was being a good Adventist. And then after about 5 hours at the hospital, then I would go back home and do afternoon, evening with my grandmother and grandfather, dinner, baths, to bed. And then when they went to bed, I would clean the house.
Wow, Raquel.
And then get up and do it
I hope
again.
you beautiful people are getting an understanding of all what we're saying. This is totally amazing. Totally amazing. For what Raquel and Cheryl, who at this time didn't know what was going on, but Mom, you did a great job. You did an excellent job. Were there times that you felt God's presence in the middle of this chaos?
Yes. I would say yes, but not as in today I feel God right here, right now. It was kind of just the everyday of it. It's just okay, well, today's Tuesday, let's go. And so I would kind of feel God and just, all right, well, I'm got these lot fed. I'm just, next thing. Well, anyway, so to me, I guess the feeling of God was just being able to keep the routine going every day, and the lights are still on. I didn't forget to pay Belco, and just keeping all the bowls in the air. I guess was
it's a lot of bowls. Yeah,
my way of,
and not dropping any.
Yes, not dropping any.
Yes, indeed,
not dropping anybody.
Yeah.
So that was kind of the way I felt God with it. It wasn't a big,
aha moment or anything.
Right. It was just the everyday, okay, well, I know I'm not doing this by myself, so that's gotta be God, sorting it out. And just as it progressed and, as we was still trying to bring her out of it, just, okay, well, she's still here, so that's also
a good thing. Yeah. Tell us about the vitamin C, because that is very interesting.
Oh, okay. So
as short as you can, tell us about this vitamin C.
I will do my best. All right. So towards the, I would say like the late April, early May part, when they were really just okay, either she's going to wake up or let go sort of thing. One of my aunts shout out Aunt Mel. Hey. She had been talking to another one of my aunts in Atlanta, Aunt Rosalind, and my aunt in Atlanta is very big on natural stuff.
Sure.
The hospital is the last resort sort of thing. And she mentioned that there was this study where concentrated amounts of vitamin C were being used to treat infections and, treat things. So she suggested that I bring it up to the hospital because at this point they were like, well...
Their hands were in the air like, what now?
We don't know what to do. So, thankfully, that week, the doctor she had was receptive. She was a younger female doctor. So I think she was a little more... receptive to suggestions or ideas than perhaps one of the older, more,
senior doctors would be,
might have been. And so I mentioned to her, that my family had heard of this vitamin C therapy, what would that be something we could try? And she told me, she was like, well, I know what you're talking about. She said, however, the hospitals do not prescribe it as a treatment. It's not approved as a prescribed treatment because the amount of vitamin C that we would have to put into her very often destroys things. And she said, so as a doctor, I cannot suggest it to you, but if you would like to request it to be done, we can do that. She said, because at this point, there's nothing left to destroy. Because her kidneys are already going, her lungs were going, they were trying to keep her heart sorted. She was swelling up. They were pretty sure part of her brain was infected. So she was like, at this rate...
Yeah, okay. Why
what
not?
Can it hurt?
Why not?
So, she went ahead and did the vitamin C therapy, and they started to see some improvement.
Look at that.
They started to see her temperature and things come down, which indicated that the infection was getting taken care of. And so she was like, okay, well, she's turning a corner a bit. Let's do a round of antibiotics, see if we can't knock the rest of this out. And so they did another round of antibiotics. It did a little bit, but didn't completely clear it up. So she said, well, we can try the vitamin C one more time. She said, but that's it. I'm not going to do it anymore. If it doesn't work, then it just doesn't work. So she did one more round of the vitamin C, and that's when they really started to see things turn. Her fever basically came back down to almost normal. They were able to take her off dialysis and get her kidneys back working. She didn't have any more problem with her lungs trying to collapse. The heart leveled out. So then it was just like the residual infection needing to get cleared
flushed out. Yeah.
So that was the beginning of
a recovery.
And then a couple of weeks after the last round of the vitamin C was when they noticed her eyes like trying to move, like she might have been trying to open her eyes.
Yeah.
And from there, we got a little bit of reflex in her hands, like if they, pushed her with a pencil or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's when they realized, okay, the nerves are trying to come back.
Look at that. Wow.
But she was very, very weak because her muscles had all atrophied.
Sure.
In the bed. At this point, we were late May. Beginning of June.
Okay.
And so then one day I came to the hospital and her eyes were open. She couldn't talk.
Right.
And she couldn't turn her head.
Right.
But if you asked her to look in a certain direction, she could move her pupils. Okay. So we were like, okay. We got it somewhere.
Yes, indeed. Right. Yes, indeed.
She's in there somewhere. And so that's
when Cheryl.
So that's when they started trying to now move her body, move her joints, like because at at this point, everything was stiff.
Sure,
Everything
sure.
was
atrophied in a
Yeah.
sense. Yeah.
Yes. So this is when they started bringing the physio in. They started trying to help her to keep her eyes open longer, blinking, those sorts of things. But she still couldn't really communicate that she understood us until... I don't remember the exact day, but I know it was after Father's Day. So it was like mid-June when I came to visit her, and she kind of turned her head to me. And I said, Sote, you can see me? And she nodded her head a little bit. She couldn't nod, but she dropped her chin a little bit like she was trying to.
Yeah.
I said, girl, what a nap.
Do you remember that, Cheryl?
Yes, I do.
What was that like?
I just remember her walking in the room, and I could hear her voice,
Look at that.
and I could respond a little bit.
Wow. And did you know where you were or anything?
No, I didn't really realize
You couldn't sort of focus
what
on
had
that.
happened to
right,
me.
Right, yeah. And then you had to do some physio, and I think you stayed in the ICU until cup match.
Yes.
Wow,
yes.
that's a pretty long time.
Yes.
And you had lost weight, and you had lost all your beautiful hair.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, people, if you're looking on Facebook Live, you see she's got those beautiful locks back again, and she was eventually weaned off the respirator. Yeah.
Yes.
And she needed speech therapy. And how much longer did she stay in the hospital? Until when?
She got discharged January
8th, I
8th
think. Yeah.
of 2019. So overall, she...
Mercy. Wow. But then there was a situation with